Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
Are we ready?
Let's do it.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Coach, you're up first here, Coach. Number 1. Duke is the most complete team in college basketball. Reaction or overreaction?
So I got to, because it's my first time doing it. So I'm just saying one of the two words and explaining why. Correct, John?
Fire.
Okay. I think it's not an overreaction. I think it's reaction that it's truthful. I think Duke is really good. I think they're really talented. They've got multiple pros on their team, and I know if you're looking at a test of an elite basketball matchup of two teams that could play for the national championship in April, they're playing on Friday in Arizona versus Duke. And so we will know a lot about both teams on Friday, but Duke is as good, I think, as anyone in the country. They're loaded. They got Filipowski, who's a stud. Love him. I mean, he's big time. They got guard play. When you have, look, in the end, the game's about great players, and they've got a lot of great players, and they've got more great players than the majority of teams, and that just right there gives them an advantage.
John, I'll add this. Why I think they're as talented as anybody's because I think they are as versatile as any team in the country. They could, I had their opening night game against Dartmouth. They can play with Filipowski at the 5 and put 4 guards around them. And those 4 guards could be Jared McCain. It could be Jeremy Roach, Tyrese Proctor. And then it could be, I know I'm missing it. What's the freshman guard I'm missing? Caleb Foster. Like, that's the 4 guards they could put around Filipowski at the 5. And so then they would slide Filipowski to the 4. And then you could bring in Ryan Young, who's good in the post, or Christian Reeves, who they want to kind of be that Derek Lively defender type rebounder. I mean, they have so much versatility. I think the problem with them, and we're not even talking about a team with the second-ranked recruiting class. Sean Stewart and T.J. Powell, top 25 players in the country, didn't get off the bench until the game was over. I mean, those guys, and so he's in a situation right now where there's a standard he's set, and I think that's probably the best way any coach in the country would feel is when you have young guys and you don't have to play them, they have to earn it. That's what his team is. He just has to figure out, are we going to play big? Are we going to play small? And can we get to a point where we play that way within a game and everybody be happy with that? I think that's the problem. They are probably the deepest team in the country. Now, their only kryptonite is they're still relatively young. They're still led by sophomores and freshmen, and they got, 2 seniors in Ryan Young and Jeremy Roach.
And Scheyer deserves a lot of credit because, obviously taking over for Coach K, it's, we don't have to go on that, how hard that is to do, but he hasn't missed a beat. I mean, he's actually recruited better than Mike Krzyzewski. He's recruited what they have recruited better with, and that's nothing against Coach K, who's maybe the greatest ever and maybe of any sport. Jon Scheyer has actually recruited, and the Duke basketball has recruited better in the last 2 years than they were even with Coach K as the head coach. It's incredible. So I'm telling you, Friday is because I think Arizona is really good. It's not just because I went there, or I just think they're really good. They're big. They got good guard play. I think Friday is going to be is going to tell a lot for both teams. I think that's a monster game on Friday.
Who's going to win?
I'll go to Randolph.
Listen, I don't know. I think, like I said, if you're asking me right now, I think Duke's as talented as anybody, and it's going to be tough to go into Cameron and win. Yeah. You just don't go in there. Now, could Arizona go in there and win? They can. The only concern that I have with Duke right now is that it's going to take time for them to figure out because they have so much talent.
Right. But here's
and what I mean by that is you got to deal with how they want to play because they want to play big because Filipowski playing the 4 And then them being able to play with him at the 4 with the other big, with Ryan Young or Christian Reeves, and then being able to put him at the 5 and him not being foul trouble and deal with that as well. But you try to match up with Filipowski at the 5. He's the most skilled 7-footer in college basketball.
We have a question from the chat. Is he the next Giannis?
No, stop it.
Yeah.
Listen, you tell Jeff. Tell Rob go to bed, man. Tell Rob take his ass to sleep. I know that's Rob. Tell Rob take his ass to sleep. This kid's getting up early in the morning.
Rob, go to bed. I got to ask you this, Coach Pastner, because you just said that Jon Scheyer is recruiting better than Mike Krzyzewski. It's nothing against Coach K. Nothing against Coach K.
Yeah.
What would you say? Because this is always the first response on any social media. John, you could go and get those kids. It's Duke. What do you say to those people right now?
Well, I would say yes. Obviously, he has momentum taking over for Duke. There's no doubt. Just like when I followed John Calipari at Memphis, there was momentum following an elite guy like John Calipari. There's momentum for Jon Scheyer following Mike Krzyzewski, and you're building off of that. There's nothing wrong with that, but you still got to go get the guys. You've got to connect with the player. You're still running the program, and so not anybody can just do that. Jon Scheyer has, found a way to kind of create his niche, and especially in recruiting. And I mean, they won the ACC championship last year, and I'm sorry, they had.
They won it last year.
Yeah, they won the ACC tournament.
Yeah, okay, yeah, they did win it. I was going to say because it was the first time. It was the first time. I think it was the first time for a first-time coach to take over in the ACC had won the championship, if I'm not mistaken. But it's been a long time for me in 6 months, since they played in that. But you got to give him total credit, and not everybody can do that. What he's done, it's hard. It's very hard. Yes, from the outside, it looks like anybody can just do it, but it's not as simple as that. And the guys that are here that he's gotten, and that he's getting in this class, like already, I mean, and they're winning, and they're winning, and as I thought the biggest thing was early in the year, Randolph, last year, when he was playing in the stretch. He wasn't playing his All-American freshmen that he recruited. He was playing the older guys, like the big kid from Northwestern. Yeah. He was playing. He wasn't worrying about keeping the 5-star guys happy. He was playing to win, especially in some of those early season games. He was playing the older guys, and I thought that was a true telling sign of Jon Scheyer on that.
Josh, I'm telling you, Sean Stewart, who's an elite athlete.
I recruited Sean Stewart. He's a stud.
Yes,
TJ Powers is a stud. I'm telling you, those two guys are studs.
And they were sitting, and I'm watching. We're calling the game, and I'm sitting there, and I'm looking like, did I miss something? Are they hurting? I mean, this was almost halfway into the second half. They didn't even get up. They didn't even take their warm-ups off. I'm like, oh my God! But I understood why. I understood.
Randolph, I would have done cartwheels from Atlanta to either Florida for Sean Stewart or up to Massachusetts for TJ Powers. I mean, I know those guys are studs, man. Wait. They're big time. So you're right. For them not to even get off the bench until literally to the it's credit to Jon Scheyer on that.
Hold the phone. Can you do cartwheels? Can Josh Pastner do cartwheels?
For a recruit, for a really good player, I can.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field 68 content.